everybody, I'm Laura Trump, coming to you from Palm Beach, Florida. Everyone knows the obstacles President Trump has faced from the mainstream media in his pursuit to make America great again. That's why we're using social media to communicate with voters across the country and address real issues that matter most to you and other hardworking Americans. Today, we want to reflect on 2017 and everything we have to be grateful for this year since President Trump first took the oath of office. With me to share her reflections on this historic year is a talk show host and media commentator, as well as a great supporter of President Donald Trump, Dr. Gina Loudon.
Great to be with you.
Dr. Gina, thank you so much for joining us. It's always great to be with you.
Happy to be with you. Thanks, Laura.
Now, this year has been absolutely incredible. I'd love to hear some of your reflections on 2017 as we approach the new year.
I think I am just so excited that it seems to me, Laura, like perhaps the rest of the world, including our congressional members, including world leaders, including a lot of never-Trumpers that I used to debate quite strongly on many television shows, are finally catching on to the reasons that I supported this president from day one, and that many of us were just going to be tireless, even in the face of those that we'd worked together with in the past, perhaps even in the face of great scrutiny, and that many people today are discovering that this president is going to be willing to fight for them, no matter who they are, no matter where they came from, no matter what their race or gender is. And despite all the lies, the barrage of constant lies we've had from the fake news media, that all of us were going to be willing to stand because we saw a leadership quality and a tenacity and a compassion in this president, and that made us willing to fight for him, really for the future of our country and our children.
No, that's absolutely right. There is no denying any of that. President Trump has made such a huge impact in 2017, already at home and abroad. How much difference has the president, has his personal leadership style made in his approach to the presidency?
It's critical because foreign leaders, Laura, they have to respect the American leader. And that's what we didn't have with Obama. And to be quite honest with you, that goes back a few presidents on the Republican and the Democrat side. We had people trying to lead from behind. We had people apologizing for all things American. That's not what the American president is hired by the American people to do. President Trump understands that, and he's willing to articulate that on the international platform. He's willing to stand up to the UN. He's willing to stand up even to those Americans who prefer a lead from behind, I guess, approach to it. And he was willing to be that strong leader, is willing to be that strong leader that calls it like he sees it and says, hey, this isn't fair that America is paying for this when you all are disrespecting us. He's willing to stand up for that. He's willing to go into the pit of hell, which is ISIS, and confront them and defeat them and bring those victories home so that our children can sleep in their beds safe and sound at night. Really, as a mother, Laura, you know this with your precious little Luke, there's nothing that matters more to me than my children sleeping safe and sound in their beds at night, knowing that ISIS is being destroyed from within by the leadership of this president. Really, nothing matters more to me.
No, it's phenomenal. And he has done all of this, Dr. Gina, despite the fact that he has faced such incredible obstacles. I don't think there's been a president who has faced such obstacles in his first year in office as President Trump has. What do the American people at the grassroots level think about the president and the way he's confronted the establishment in Washington this year?
Well, that's what they elected him to do. But I think we've gotten so much more from his leadership and just from his commitment and compassion to the American people than we even realized we were going to get. We aren't used to presidents making promises in campaign. In fact, we're not used to dog catchers making promises in their campaigns and keeping them.
It's amazing, right? I know.
But Laura, this president, he made the promises. He's kept the promises on every level. I myself was shocked when he restored, for example, Jerusalem as the capital. That's just one thing that I think that people heard, but they didn't really expect him to follow through on, especially in the first year. His commitment to the destruction of ISIS and its Islamic terrorist threat on our country. His commitment to keep foreign invaders out of this country that we've been dealing with in volumes for years. We continue to see deaths of Americans based on this lackadaisical attitude about our borders, and a country without borders is not a country, as he said, and he's kept very committed to that. His commitment to our economic strength. And I know we're going to get to that. I'm sure we're going to talk about that more in depth because, of course, the new tax bill is just so exciting. But there's so much that he's done. And I think that his leadership style and his willingness to stand up, even when the media was attacking his own family, that's got to be the hardest part. As the wife of a former state senator from Missouri, I can tell you that when people attacked me and my husband's children, that was the hardest part for him to lead. I can't even imagine the sort of just unfair and bitter attacks that your family has endured. And I can tell you, this country thanks you for standing up in the midst of all that, and will continue to stand with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Listen, we all have so much to be grateful for this year, and especially us as the family of the president. We're so grateful for him and the American people. But as you know, there are many families across the country who have been devastated by the opioid epidemic. I know you've been very passionate about this crisis. Tell us about President Trump's plan to confront the epidemic.
He's confronting it on all levels, as this president does. You know, people have often commented he demands excellence from those around him. Well, he demands excellence from himself. So he's going to come at this from every level, just like he always has. He's going to confront it internally, coming up with ways that hospitals can better alert people that what they need to do to not become addicted to the opioids, as well as drug companies and development of drugs that aren't as addictive as the opioids that we have, or that will counter some of the most negative reactions to the opioids. He's confronting it on the international level, those producing the opioids. He's going after them. And then, of course, he's going to confront it domestically in the people that are selling the opioids, that are lacing things with opioids to addict our children unknowingly in many cases, and certainly those that are being unknowingly addicted by just taking pain medication that they didn't realize was going to cause a problem that is killing millions of Americans each year. And what I love about this particular issue and the fact that the president has taken it on is that this isn't something that we've heard a lot about in the past, Laura. This is something that he heard from the people who asked him about it while he's conducting his rallies and while he was campaigning, and his commitment to the American people, no matter whether the group is 100 million or just 10 million, it doesn't matter. This president is going to confront it when it's brought to his attention, and he can do something about it. I love that level of commitment and follow through from him.
You got that right. Now, Dr. Gina, you alluded to this a moment ago. Tax cuts. The historic tax cuts have been signed into law by the president, another promise that he is keeping. What are your expectations for the growth in the economy in 2018 now that this has happened? This is going to be phenomenal, right?
Phenomenal. Companies that criticize, you had CEOs who criticized candidate Trump are now falling all over themselves to raise the minimum wages in their company. We know that AT&T is giving $1 billion to reinvest in the American economy this year. We know that they're giving $1,000 bonuses to their employees. And what I really love about this, Laura, this is so exciting on so many levels. Most Americans are going to be getting back at least $1,000 in their pockets. That's a wonderful way to start the new year. Most Americans are going to be able to fill out their tax forms on one page. I mean, just imagine.
Amazing. I'm so excited about it.
I know. The time savings, the trouble savings, the stress that is saved by the average American is unreal. And for those who want to criticize that this is somehow, as the Democrats love to do with their, while they clutch their pearls, this is the 1% of the 1%, that's a lie. And the proof is in the pudding. And Americans are going to know it when they get their tax returns. Americans are going to know it when they're saving their own money, because this is their money. The president understands this. He's paid a lot of taxes in his time. They're going to realize it when they are only filling out one page. They're going to realize it when jobs are created. They're going to realize it when they're not being fined for not being forced to buy Obamacare that they never should have been forced to buy in the first place. And by the way, more than 80% of those affected by those fines from Obamacare made under $50,000 a year, Laura. That is the middle class. Those people are going to be saving money so fast they're not even going to understand it. While jobs and the economy are flourishing, this is going to result in a much bigger savings for the poor and the middle class than just that $1,000 that I'm talking about. But that's real cash. And so this is going to be amazing for job growth and economic opportunity in this country. It's like something we've never seen before.
It's so exciting. And it's always exciting to start a new year. There's so much to look forward to. What do you think will be President Trump's next major priorities as we look forward to 2018?
Well, I love, for one, what he's doing in the courts. And this is going largely unsung by many in the media. But he has...
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. But in addition to, of course, Gorsuch, which is a great victory on the Supreme Court that will be giving dividends to our children and their children, frankly, there will be more to come on that front. We have other judges that the president is also replacing. We have activist judges who have been corrupting our court system and causing great frustration to many Americans and affecting lives of real people. And I love that the president is confronting this in the ways that he is. And so I think we'll see a lot more on that front. We'll be enjoying the economic prosperity that we haven't seen in decades or maybe ever. When you have people even like Orrin Hatch admitting that this may be the president of presidents, things that you and I have seen going way back, understanding his strengths, understanding his ability to get things done, to get down to business, he has earned the respect that he's finally seeing. Maybe, Laura, just maybe, we can enjoy the media becoming a little more honest in their presentation. We're not asking for favor of this president, and certainly he earned his respect in the international community, even among his campaign supporters. And I believe he's earning the respect of the American people and certainly of Congress and maybe even of some in the media who can just buck up for once in their lives and say, you know what? Some of the things he's doing are pretty good for Americans. If nothing else, it's promises kept, which would be great on every level of politics, Republican and Democrat. I think we'll see more people starting to get on board with our president's agenda and what the American people elected him to do, and I think it will make an amazing difference for families all across America and really for the legacy that we as parents and as business owners can leave to those who will come behind us in decades to come. This is a legacy that's not going anywhere. This is a legacy of a president that is going to be historic. And if you're not on board the Trump train at this point, you're on the wrong side of history, and there you will stay. So I hope that people are starting to realize that, jump on board, and on the parts that you agree with.
You can always come on board the Trump train. We're always welcoming of you.
We are. Come on and get on board, and let's just continue to make America great again in all the ways we can together.
I love it. Dr. Gina, thank you so much. Visiting with you has been the perfect way to close out such an exciting year. I agree with you so much. I still say that this president will go down as one of the greatest presidents in American history, and loved your optimistic outlook on everything. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for all you and your family have endured so that me and my family can enjoy our country again, Laura. We appreciate you, and God bless you in 2018.
Thank you. And thanks to you for joining me as well. On behalf of President Trump and our entire family and all of us at the Trump campaign, I want to wish you and your family a very happy new year. I'm Laura Trump from Palm Beach, Florida. Good night, everybody.